Over the last few days, there have been certain elements of the media that have absolutely lost their mind over a certain piece of information that was revealed by the President of the United States regarding the conflict in Ukraine. He said that we were, quote unquote, running out of ammunition for the 155. Now, many people have said this was a huge piece of intelligence that should have never been released. In fact, he even said it twice, once in the conference and then once again when confronted by reporters. He did confirm that. Now, some probably wouldn't give him credit for putting out disinformation during a time of war to confuse an enemy, but I'm sure there are people behind him that could be feeding him this kind of information or disinformation to confuse an enemy. Now, what if I told you way back in 2021, Google accidentally revealed something about the operational capability of the B-1 bomber that to this day is devastating. It makes it almost useless in the theater. That's why many of them are just sitting on the runway doing nothing. And that's also why the U.S. Air Force has talked about scrapping the entire fleet. They had a very specific ability that other aircraft didn't have, and once Google revealed it, it was the end. And Google's tried to hide their role in this, but it was from back in 2021. Now, real quick, just want to say, be diligent. Say thank you to everyone who joins us at the Florida MACH Patreon channel every single day. Next couple of days, we're going to have a controversial video being put up over there because that's the reason for the existence of the Florida MACH Patreon channel, so that we can talk about things that are important, and it has to do with more domestic matters, issues with Disney, the governor, all that kind of stuff. It's things I can't say here. That's why it's only $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year, and fully refundable first 90 days, no questions asked. There's a $5 level as well. We've got a little handful of videos for those folks. God bless all of you. No matter what you can afford, it makes a huge, huge difference. What's going on with the censorship, what's going on with the demonetization is absolutely almost unsurvivable for most. And without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I'll be very honest. So every day I'm going to bother to say thank you. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm sure a lot of you remember Jennifer LaFontaine, Jennifer Veterans for Truth. Our channels crossed paths way back during the issue with the USS Fitzgerald back in 2017. She actually uncovered this technology being used in Florida, and she showed it, and it's pretty much undeniable. We went through all of the videos and showed it's a form of cloaking technology. Now, this is a screenshot from one of those videos. This was off the coast of Florida, where we found one of these very strange, what looked like tic-tac shaped craft hovering very close to the surface. Now, what if I told you the B-1 bomber has that exact same technology? I'm sure a lot of you are looking at this like, wait a minute, that just kind of looks blurry. Here's a better angle. Now, some might ask the question, wait a minute, how did Google Earth Pro cameras pick up this B-1 bomber sitting here on the left, but not pick up this one? Well, you see, that's the dead giveaway. You see, they talk about radar reflective paint, and they talk about different angles and different materials. This was the dead giveaway that there was something more going on, that there's some active component to the cloaking technology beyond just the paint, beyond just the shape, beyond all of this. Here's another angle. And if you want to see it in real time here, here's Google Earth. Now, this is Dyess Air Force Base in Texas. This was from 2021. And as you can see, as we zoom around here, whatever the tech was that they're using to cloak these craft, it's real simple. They left it on. And on the aircraft to the left, it's off. So that when you look straight down, like from a satellite, you'd never see it, especially at altitude. It's only setting here on the ground. This giveaway was devastating to the military. That's why they didn't make a big deal of it. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. It's attached to the 77th Weapons Squadron. When you go to Google Earth and you look at what they have this labeled as, They have it called the 7th CMS. I'm not sure what CMS would mean in this particular case. Combat something squadron. I thought it combat weapons squadron would make sense, but what is CMS? CMS may mean cloaked munitions, something like this. It's very odd what the 77th, because when you go to the wiki for what they have themselves listed as, 77 WS, 77 weapons, 77 weapons squadron is what they're technically labeled as. So what would, let's go back here. If it's the 77th weapons squadron, what would 7th CMS mean? Maybe that's an entirely different thing. So just a couple of clips from the videos. I did a video on this where I found what Jennifer LaFontaine did, and I attempted to draw a line underneath it. And you can see how it's opaque, how you can kind of see the line. Here you can kind of, and this is me see somewhat in the background. I'll cut off my own voice there. So it's weird that you can see that it's above the ground, the line passing through it. There's a level of opacity. It's not completely obscured. This is from one of Jennifer LaFontaine's videos where these craft are seen disturbing the clouds. You see, this would be the problem. You can cloak it optically, but there are things in the atmosphere you won't be able to hide from. And there were 2 or 3 different things, in fact, different things here in Florida that have showed up in the clouds like this with this particular type of technology, especially if you're looking straight up at a blue sky. How easy would it be to cloak against a blue sky when you can cloak against cement on the ground? Now, here's the original article from back in, it was January of 2021. UFO sighting claim, alien tech spotted next to U.S. Air Force. Here's Jennifer doing the same thing with the measurement where you can draw a line directly under it and through it, so it's a 3D image. And there's more of these. There's 3 or 4 or 5 of them that we found. So go check out Jennifer LaFontaine. She's got a couple of different videos on this. They're not really hard to find. She doesn't have very many videos on her channel anymore. She hasn't put up a video in quite a long time, but she was the one who originally outed this. But once again, like I said, Dyess Air Force Base, this isn't hard to find. I don't care how you look at it. This is a huge security breach. So, I mean, whatever temporary ammunition issues we're having, with what's going on in Ukraine, I mean, yeah, probably not the greatest thing to reveal, but compared to showing that there is some active component where this can be turned on and off, which would have to be, that would have to be the case, though, about cloaking technology. And I've never heard anybody bring this up with cloaking technology. We got to know where our own planes are to even bring them in. So you couldn't just have a cloaked craft go rolling down the runway and take off into the wild blue yonder and be cloaked the entire time and cloaked on the way back in. So there would have to be some way, somehow, for us to optically see them. That couldn't be 20, so this shows it's not a 24/7 thing. If you can visually see it on the ground, what's the, and if it's just paint, basically what I'm saying is this: if it's just paint and the angles of the body and the type of materials, then you'd never be able to see it. That would be my question. There has to be the ability to turn this on and off. And that might be what the big delay has been in rolling this out commercially. Is that how are we going to, if we would roll this out commercially with the ability to turn it on and off, can you imagine the security issues? In a free society, for sure. So, anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I didn't want to waste a lot of your time. Once again, thank you, Jennifer, Veterans for Truth, for finding all this good stuff. Hopefully, some new content soon. And all of you over at the Patreon channel, you guys have no idea. There are things I wish, in fact, maybe in the next video at the Patreon channel, I will share it. Some stories from other creators here on the platform who have just had to close up shop. It's been that bad that there's just no other way around it. With YouTube and Google and everybody going woke, they have gone broke. And they can't pay the advertisers, and when they can't pay the advertisers don't pay us, and it's a tough thing. Some say, why do you do it for a living? Well, back when I decided to do it for a living, way back when, things were massively different. This was way back before Trump even got elected. This was back during the very end of the Obama administration. YouTube and Google were a very different place. There were lots of people talking about the Second Amendment, lots of people talking about prepping, lots of people talking about patriot issues. There was a great deal. Ask anybody, even ask Alex Jones, ask all those people. Back in 13, 14, 15, those years, there was no censorship. Virtually none, really. The censorship didn't start, and the demonetization didn't start till about 17. And now 6 years later, it's just breathtaking. So God bless. Everyone have a good night. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.